Why I need my libraries? 'Cause I'm homeless, bum bum. 'Cause I'm homeless, I got nowhere to go. Why I need my libraries? Nobody loves me, and 'cause I'm homeless and I got nowhere to go. I need my libraries 'cause I'm homeless. Why I need my libraries 'cause I'm homeless, and the library needs my soul.
It's beautiful, mate.
That's I don't know if I've got any other.
You've got a half decent voice on you, Trev.
Well, thanks, man.
Now, the other day we spent the day together, and you and I noticed occasionally you would stop to get food from some of the bins.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how I feel about that, and how a lot of people would about health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your philosophy with that? I mean, you know.
How do you see it yourself? Like you see it as a.
I see it as being something that can be hazardous to your health.
Yeah.
How do you see it?
I work at. The history of that was when I was living in Newcastle. I was going to uni and stuff, and I didn't have a lot of money in that, but I was trying to live for free with Jesus, have no money, you know. And I used to walk around. It was the first time I was living outside, and a lot of the kids would throw out their kebabs. It was a university town, so I used to go around in the middle of the night. I'd eat the kebabs and the chips, and then I used to sleep in next to the showgrounds, and then I'd come out and I'd walk in the morning to the bars and I'd go for a swim, and I'd have a shower there with the iceberger guys down there, really cold. And then because I was trying to live for free and stuff, and the Woolies used to throw out all these eggs, and so I bought all my eggs and flour, and I lived on eggs and flour and stuff, and I lived like that. And then I got a lot of stuff out of, I found like nearly 100 packets of muesli bars, so I lived on muesli bars. And then there's another one where people were just throwing out pies and everything like that.
So I guess it's the waste of society that you're seeing. It's we're too wasteful, you guess. I mean,
yeah.
Or yeah.
It's not just that, I suppose.
A financial thing, obviously, you're saying, I guess.
At the moment, I haven't when I gave away money and using money, I haven't really shopped for years, not properly going in and had a grocery shop. So I've just kind of lived on what was there and survived. And there's sort of a cycle thing going on. I walk along and I write poetry and I do things, and I'll be in this sort of rhythm of doing things. And like, if I had to go all the way back and cook and do that, come out, I'd sort of lose all what I was doing. So I just sort of live my whole day out there, and I'm sort of going on adrenaline a lot, and I don't sort of.
So what's the next step from here, mate? The mayoral
court case or something?
Yeah. Yep. So the court case is over. The first stage of the court case is over.
I got fined. I walked out of that, so I lost my temper a lot. So I couldn't put in subpoenas, and then I sort of charged the magistrate. I said that she had bias with the police prosecutor, and I was getting harassed by the court staff, so I brought that in. And then she sort of, when I went in, I was late, and I was going to wear this sort of judge's wig and things and stuff, and I didn't do that, but I should have, because the Channel 9 was there, and I should have been more prepared. And then they said there could have been an apprehension of bias, and they quoted a few cases, and then they started doing my subpoenas, and I didn't I thought there was bias, and then because they've been nice to me, I sort of let off a bit, and then they said that there was they didn't do my subpoenas that well, and then I said, look, what's the f***ing use of me being here? And I swore and that, and then I said, look, I'm not going to be here, I'm going to walk out. So I walked out. They walked out, but then they put an adjournment, and then I come back later in the afternoon, and they'd already heard the case, and because they didn't really want to arrest me and hold me for 3 weeks in a holding cell, so I ended up being I think it was like $500 on each sort of fine thing, so I got convicted on each one. So it went up to nearly, I don't know, $1,200, something like that, plus other costs. So, but I've got to try to put that into community service, something like that. So
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'd like to improve on my personal relationships, maybe, I don't know, girlfriends and things. I don't know, I've never done that before, so maybe stuff like that. I don't know. I just want to grow and look at myself personally, so I don't know about that, but like, I do poetry stuff and I write things down, and I'm learning how to lose better with lib guides and things at the library, and how to research websites. So I want to do things on men's issues. I wrote a long letter to the paper about the suicide where that guy took his 2 children. I wrote a letter about men suffering and places where men can get help, and how men getting angry isn't acceptable, so men withdraw, and it's the way. So when they withdraw, they get isolated, and then women will marginalise them and gossip about them and don't let other men help them, and so they get more isolated, and then they've got nowhere to go, and then they sort of want to be good to their kids, and it all gets mixed up in. I mean, I did meet a guy, I was talking about it, and he was, you know, he's had a couple of divorces, and he said he had a gun to his throat, and he was thinking about taking his kids with him and doing stuff. So it's not out of the boundaries of what people think. It's not so crazy, and I think that.
No, that all sounds great, Trevor.
Yeah.
Now, just to wrap up, I was thinking, anything on the roadside rubbish sculptures coming up? Any events that you're going to be at in the next week? There's the event at the homeless centre in town. Is it there?
Oh yeah, there's
on Friday.
We're doing a thing. I can tell you about that. I've got
This will be online before then, so if you want to give it a plug, at all.
I've got some stuff. We're making they've asked me to make a banner thing, so I'm going to try to do a banner for that. I haven't put it on there, but it's got to be the studio on the street. And I've got this thing, and I've even got a little camera that want to do things and put homeless people on them, get them talking, and then make something out of that, or paint it. And I've sort of got to stick that up with a sheet, so I'm working on that. And so I'm going to be working on that side of things. So maybe get a friend to help me work that together. And there's also next week there's going to be I want to run in the Sea to Surf, and also maybe get a homeless team, so Team Homeless, HOMELSS, 8 guys for that if I can. And then also maybe we get involved with there's also on the Sunday there's the it's not lifestyle, there's a environmental expo down at the Tropical Garden Spectacular, and they do things with just sustainable living and things like that, which is like these guys Lakeside Drive and doing stuff like that. So maybe do some rubbish sculptures there. They said I can do maybe with kids and stuff. And I've got to get my open card for doing stuff with the kids at the Parat Family Centre, and do some excursions. And also there's some stuff going on at Melaleuca, do stuff like that, and also other things. I don't know, just doing stuff with